My name is Flynn Broady. I have the honor of being the District Attorney for the Cobb Judicial Circuit. We're here today for the building dedication for the future home of the Cobb Family Advocacy Center, a collaborative approach to supporting victims and survivors of domestic violence. Over the last 2 years, our Cobb Family Advocacy partners have worked hard to make the 20-year vision of our Director of Victim Witness, Kim McCoy, a reality. So let's give Kim a big hand for that. That vision, her concern for victims of crime, have led us here today. Along with a host of partners, which you will hear about later in cooperation with our county leaders, we will allow us to address the needs of this community in this county. The center will be a victim-centered service center, a collaborative community hub, and dynamic public-private and private partnership to address the needs of our most vulnerable citizens, allowing victims of abuse a central hub, a one-stop shop to address their needs and allow them to escape their abusers. When family advocacy centers are implemented in communities, there's a corresponding reduction in domestic violence homicides, a reduction in childhood trauma, and with that, better outcomes for families. This is a great step in continuing to address the hidden needs of our community. In doing so, ensuring that Cobb County continues to be the best place to live, work, and play for all of its citizens. Before I turn the program over to TANESHA, I want to make a request of our corporate entities in our community. Today is the beginning, but we still need your help and make this an example for all to see throughout the state of Georgia. I need your investment in this center as an investment in our community. So thank you. TANESHA.
Thank you so much, DA Broady, for that warm welcome. We now invite up our chairwoman, Lisa CUPID, and our county manager, Dr. McMorris.
Good morning, everyone. It is certainly my honor and pleasure to be here and to help usher in this facility that will help so many of our families here in Cobb County, particularly those who are experiencing violence. This would not have come into fruition had it not been for the vision and fortitude of the DA's office, as this has been many months, even years coming. I also want to commend the several partners that came together to make this happen, many who are here today, many of which are in Cobb County government and also within our community. For great things to happen, it often takes a great team, and that is what we've always prided ourselves in having here within our county. I know that this building will have a positive generational impact for many here in Cobb County. And again, thank you for having the vision and fortitude and bringing this into fruition. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I think the chairwoman summed it up quite well, so I'll be brief. I just want to say a couple of years ago when this idea was brought to my attention and I had a sit-down meeting with staff and tried to strategize on what was the best way to bring this forward so that the board would appreciate what we were trying to do. And I remember they were invited to do site visits, and I myself attended one in Chattanooga, and we all left thinking, what a wonderful opportunity to be the first one of these, if not in the state, certainly within our region. So I applaud all of you as partners who have gotten us here today. I have a special thank you in my heart for my team, the property management team and the support services agency who found this building and who have made it what it is today so that you can call it home. We all recognize the ills of nonviolence and particularly domestic violence. There's no place for it here in Cobb, but it is here. And we have to look it in its face and address it. So together we will do this. So I give my total support to the team. This is just the beginning, and I'm so proud and so excited that we here in Cobb are leading in this space. So thank you, and best of luck to you, DA's office. Thank you.
Thank you to our chairwoman and our county manager. At this time, we call up Kim McCoy and Cindy YEAGER with our Cobb County District Attorney's Office.
Good morning. I have the distinct pleasure of saying thank you to an awful lot of people, so I hope you will be patient with me. But before I do that, I got to tell you, I feel like it's Christmas morning. I pulled up and I saw that sign this morning and I about jumped out of my car. I was so excited. There are many people in this room that I can just say a personal, heartfelt thank you to. Jennifer Thomas has been a cheerleader of mine for many, many, many years. And of victims of crime and advocacy centers in general. So, Jennifer, thank you. She came from the mountains this morning, so thank you, Jennifer, for being here. But as a formal thank you, again, I have the distinct pleasure of not only introducing but saying thank you to these fabulous agencies in and around Cobb County and in and around our state. From the very beginning of our journey, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, the journey for advocacy centers in Cobb County actually began in 1997. Deputy Chief District Attorney Jason Saliba and I went to San Diego under a family violence grant, and we toured the advocacy center there, and we said we got to have this in Cobb County. Took us years to get here, obviously, through struggles, through challenges, through politics, through a lot of different things. But we're here. We're here today, December 15th, 2022, and I cannot thank you enough. So our partners who've supported the District Attorney's Office in not only developing this concept, but in writing the grant, in begging for money, in begging for support from around our county, these are who we call our MOU partners, and they are the people that have stood behind us and supported us from the very beginning. So if you are here representing this agency, please raise your hand. Cobb County Solicitor's Office, Cobb County Legal Aid, Live Safe Resources, Safe Path Children's Advocacy Center, the Cobb County Police Department, the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, and certainly, last but not least, Cobb County Government. So those are our official partners under our grant. TANESHA has done a fantastic job developing partnerships and community liaisons, and I want to recognize these folks as well for your support and assistance. So again, please wave as I call your name. Center for Family Resources, Cobb Division of Family and Children's Services, and a special thank you to them for giving us this building or pointing us in the direction of this building. Kennesaw State University, Wellstar College of Health and Human Services, the Smyrna Police Department, the Ackworth Police Department, the Kennesaw Police Department, Cobb Collaborative, Cobb Department of Public Safety, Mission Acts International, and again, thoroughly on this, last on this list, but certainly not least, is Georgia Power. So we also want to especially thank, and I know Chairwoman Cupid, Dr. McMorris already said this, we would not be here today if it were not for property management and if it were not for Cobb County IS Department. So a very, very special thank you to property management and IS for all of their help in identifying, helping us get this building and moving forward. We would not be here today without all of your support. So I thank each and every one of you individually for all of your support, collectively for all of your support. Tanisha's gonna make another ask before we close out. So I'm going to tell you, we're not done yet. We got a lot of work left to do to get this vision up and running. But again, to all of you that I've just mentioned, thank you for your time, thank you for your talents, thank you for your energy, and thank you all for your support.
Good morning. I'm Cindy Yeager, one of the co-chief assistant district attorneys, and I'm happy to say I see a lot of people in this room that I have known from their very beginning of being a police officer when I was just a baby prosecutor way back when. But we just wanted to recognize a few members of the elected officials and chiefs and deputy chief police who have come to support us, and the community leaders. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate you being here. We thank you for being a part of this coordination and making this great day occur. Thank you.
I guess I was just thinking as I was on the way here, like, wow, Cobb County is doing this, and I am so glad that it's happening here. Cobb County is an amazing place. I am homegrown Atlanta child, so born and raised here. Cobb was my stomping ground for many years. And I think the importance of what this is going to do for the citizens of Cobb County can't be understated. It's long overdue, time for us to have this kind of system that makes it easier for people. because that's what has always been missing. That's what has been the difficult part for us. All of us have big hearts. All of us care about victims and survivors, and we want folks to get out of bad and dangerous relationships. But we always weren't clear on how do we figure out how to do that in a way that makes it easier on the person. And we forgot, or maybe we didn't know because we haven't experienced what it feels like to be scared and to not know the system you're trying to figure out. And that's what this Cobb Family Advocacy Center is going to do for people. It's going to take away that level of fear. It's going to add a level of comfort, and it's going to give them a level of support like no one has seen before in Cobb County. And so I am happy that it's happening here. I'm happy that it's happening now. And the Georgia Commission on Family Violence is a key supporter of this project. We're going to be in it for the long run, and we're looking forward to all of the wonderful things that are going to come out of the Family Advocacy Center. Thank you so much, TANESHA and DA Broady, for inviting me to be a part of this, and I'm just looking forward to the great things. Thank you so much.
My name is Janet Paulsen, and I've been a resident of Cobb County for over 30 years. I also work closely with April, and about a year ago, we were invited to go to New York City to be on the Jon Stewart Show, which is an Apple TV show. And while we were there, we talked about the importance of the Cobb Family Advocacy Center. In October of 2015, after many years of a very difficult marriage and psychological and emotional and mental abuse, I asked my husband for a divorce. And his response was, no, I'd rather think I'll kill you. You try and leave, I'll kill you. He called my father and told my father that if I thought I was going to divorce him, I had another thing coming. He was going to shoot me. So I took my children, my 13-year-old twins, and we went in hiding in a hotel. My parents came and were staying with me in the hotel. We were going back and forth from the Acworth Police Department, getting police reports, then coming to the Cobb family courtroom to ask for a protective order. That was granted, and a week later, unfortunately, he ambushed me outside our home and he shot me 6 times with a 9mm. If it wasn't for the skill of the folks at Kennestone, I would not have survived. I was there for 3.5 weeks in a coma, there for another 3 weeks, and then I was transferred to the Shepherd Center for about 4 months. I cannot tell you how much this center is going to help DV victims and survivors and their families. We didn't know what we were doing. We were running from this place to that place to the other place. And then after I'd been shot, my husband had killed himself. My parents had to go back to family court to try and get custody of me and to get custody of my children. They had a guardian ad litem assigned to them. It was a lot. And so I'm very excited to play a small part in helping get the Advocacy Center off the ground. Being an advocate is one of the reasons I survived. I have a plaque in my house, and I got it in the hospital, and it said, "Someday this will all make sense." And being here today and doing what we're all doing together is what makes sense to me. I also heard something yesterday, and it was, sometimes you have to look at your pain to find your purpose. And I found my purpose. My other purpose is that I've not raised future abusers. My twin sons were 13 when this happened, and they're both phenomenal young men. My son Hunter is at Reinhardt University. He's on a baseball scholarship. And my son Fisher, who's here with me today, is at the Citadel, and he's also on a baseball scholarship. And he will commission into the Army when he graduates from the Citadel. The Citadel has a motto, and it's duty, honor, respect. And I think that motto applies to all of us as well. But I would add after that, courage, service, and support. I'm really excited that we're going to be there to help families, the whole family unit, through a difficult process like I've been through. So I'd like my son Fisher to come say a few words, because not only was I a victim and a survivor, so was my family.
Yeah, looking at the center, I mean, it's awesome. I'm a resident of Cobb County, born and raised here, and this is my pride and joy. Cobb County is where I'm from. I'm proud to say that's where I'm from, where I go to school. Just like she said, I go to a military college. Our morals, honor, duty, respect. This place holds a lot of honor. This place is going to carry some honor as well. The duty it's going to provide within the residents of Cobb County, especially myself, like being a survivor, like child, it's going to like hold a lot of morals. And then the respect upon all these people who walk among this building, it's going to really carry a long way. And I see this place going a long ways, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. I'm not from here anymore. I live in Charleston now at the military college I go to. So, you know, my pride and joy, like I said, I'm proud to say I'm from Cobb County. And with this place being instilled now, I'm even more like prouder to say I'm from Cobb County and to keep harping on it day by day, and just to let people know where I was born and raised and what I've been through and all that stuff. But that's beside the point. You got to turn something from a negative into a positive. And here we are today doing what we shouldn't be doing, but we're here, baby.
So I get to follow April and Janet and Fisher. And what I'd really like to say is there's really nothing else to say. I've known April for some time. I've had an opportunity to spend some time with Janet. Fisher, good to meet you. This is all about victims. Victim-centered, victim-focused. It's all about victims. And I'm honored to be able to be a part of this. I remember very clearly the conversation that I had when Christy first approached me with their long desire to bring this family justice center model to Georgia. And I got really excited to know that we were going to be able to be a part of that. We released the grant opportunity in September of 2020, and 6 communities around the state applied. 3 were selected. And out of the 3, Cobb County is the first to reach this milestone of having a facility to call home. And I can tell you, while we're excited about this model, it's not been an easy process. And I don't mind going out and saying that I am really proud of what's happened in this community, because I believe that this community is leading the way. You're not just the first to get a center, but from what I've seen from our perspective, the way you all have come together and collaborated, and the list that we went through of all the partners, government partners, community partners, business partners that are involved in making this happen is impressive. And you've done it in a difficult time. You've done it in a time where there was this little pandemic that made things very difficult. You've done it in a time where the federal governments have been cutting the awards that we're able to issue, and people are having to really begin to look at their funding, and there's a lot of other things to be focused on, but you've not let any of that stop you from being a collaborative body of group that's working together to see this come to pass. And D.A. Broady, Kim, TANESHA, amazing work that you all have done, and I'm just proud to be able to say that we're playing a really small role in it. And the more I see the community involvement, the more I hear, the more I realize that our role is small. We've provided some funding to get you started. We've provided some technical assistance. We're going to continue to be there, continue to work with you, and continue to help you along the way. But quite frankly, what's happening here in this community is the most important part. I do want to say this. This is a milestone event, but while we celebrate, and I understand the Christmas, I understand the feeling that today's Christmas, while you can celebrate, remember that this is just the next step. There's still a lot more work to be done and a lot more collaboration, a lot more working together to be accomplished before we're able to really put out what's happening in Cobb County as the kind of model we want to see statewide. And we're committed to doing everything that we can to see that kind of model statewide. The impact on victims is going to be long-lasting, not just in Cobb County. I know y'all are focused on Cobb County. I understand that. But what I want you to understand is the work that you're doing here is not going to just impact Cobb County victims. It's going to impact victims statewide because other communities are going to be watching what you're doing and seeing how you're handling victims, how you're supporting victims, how you're allowing those victims to take that next step in their recovery. And around the state, victims are going to be impacted because of what you do here in Cobb County. And I thank you for that. I applaud you for that. And I want you to know we're with you every step of the way.
Thank you so much, J. Neal, for that wonderful words of support. So now on the program is me. And it asked me to talk about the vision for the Cobb Family Advocacy Center. I wrote some notes, I took some notes, and then I forgot them, so I don't really remember everything in it. So I'm just going to wing it a little bit. So one of the things that I've always asked my partners for is for grace. So if I mess up, if I don't get it right, just, bow your heads and just say a small prayer for me. So when we talk about the vision, and I know I can say some of these things because we're in the South, and in the South we talk about being in the Bible Belt. So a lot of us know a lot of good scriptures and things like that. And one of the things that I love, it talk about writing the vision and making it plain. And if you're not really a religious person or anything like that, a lot of us, especially during this time of year, we do what we call a vision board. We start writing those things down of things that we want to accomplish in our personal lives and our professional lives. And so when I think about the magnitude of this Family Advocacy Center, and I hear J. Neal saying so many different ones say, this is just the beginning, and I get nervous because I thought that I was like, yes, we did it. But we are just getting started. So when we ask, what is the vision? It's so expansive, it's so broad, because one of the things that we all know about domestic violence, it has no respect of person. It doesn't matter where you work. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It does not matter. It can look and it hides out. Domestic violence, it hides out in our churches. It hides out in our communities. It hides out in our homes. It hides out in those pockets of places where we least expect it. And so sometimes I hear people say, oh, well, it really doesn't impact me. I beg to differ. So when we talk about the vision, it's not my vision. It's not D.A. Broady's vision. It's not the county managers. It's not our board of, it's the Cobb County vision. What is the vision for this? And when I think about the vision, what I would like to see is that even before the building, because the service can go forth if we don't have a building, there is still work that we can do. So when we talk about the vision and writing the vision and making it plain, is to expand beyond these walls. Because one of the things, again, I can talk about religion a little bit because we're in the South. Ministry doesn't start at the pulpit. Ministry starts about the work that we do out in the community, how we impact people. And so my vision for this is that we expand beyond the building. We expand beyond our titles. We expand beyond our bank accounts and all of this stuff that makes us look good. And we serve, and we serve, and we serve. So my vision is that all of these wonderful and amazing people that are in here today will join alongside of us, because we're not independent. This is all of us. We are an extension of what's already been taking place in this wonderful community. So when someone say, what's the vision? It's to expand beyond the building and to remember that service is key. People are crying out, they need us. And domestic violence, again, it knows no particular person. This can serve anybody. We serve any and everybody, and it doesn't just have to be Cobb County. Right now, we are the first one in the state of Georgia. That's phenomenal. So that means if they come from Fulton, if they come from Gwinnett, if they come from wherever, our mission is to serve. Now, when we talk about what is the vision for this building, I'm not even going to talk about the amount of money that we need, but this is what I will say. I didn't even know how we were going to get this building, but it happened. Amen. And so I'm already here in believing that the vision has already been written for the finances that we're going to need to make this thing do what it needs to do. Thank you all so much. Thank you. And to close us out, we are going to have final remarks from Mr. Randall Kreider, our Public Safety Director.
Wow, what a great day in Cobb. I tell you, I've been in and around Cobb all my life, and what I'm seeing happen here today does not surprise me, because I've seen a lot of great things come to Cobb County. But when you start trying to do something like this, and you combine all of these type A personalities, and people in the positions that they're in because they are visionaries, they are great leaders, sometimes our egos can get in the way, and it causes us to continue forward with our mission. But I am so thankful that people were able to put that aside, focus on the cause, and two of those examples have been presented to us here this morning. So if we lose that vision moving forward, let these two examples be a reminder. What's taking place here today is phenomenal. And again, I've seen a lot of things happen here in Cobb County. But for us to serve our most vulnerable is what serving means. And in county government and local government, that's what we do. We serve. We provide services. And this is a great example of what we are here for in the positions that we're in. All of our partners that have come together and those that we will bring into the fold in the future excites me. Talking about a vision, I would challenge all of us to go ahead and look for a footprint different than where we are now. You know, when you start out, most of us, when we start out as a young married couple, we get just what we can afford, right? And then hopefully as we progress in life, we have a family, we get a bigger place. That's what I want to happen here. I want this to be a stepping stone. For all the work, time, and effort that has been put into getting this building to where it is today is awesome. But again, I hope this is just the beginning of something that we can't even imagine or think can happen here in Cobb County. Again, for everyone that was involved, I commend you for staying focused, and the best is yet to come. Thank you.